Wednesday, 18th of August. Thank everyone for attending. I would, as we begin our meeting, everybody have opportunity to read the minutes from our last meeting, which was in June, I believe. Yeah, but we entertain a motion. Motion to approve those minutes. Do I get a second? Second. All right. We got a motion and a second. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, minutes are approved. And this time in our agenda, we have public comments. Do we have any? We do not have any. Okay, great. As we move along. All right, my report will be short, like Greg used to say about his. I've got an opportunity to attend meetings with both the Friends of the Library and the Foundation Board meeting. So I got an opportunity to meet members of both of those organizations, which is I learned a lot from attending those. I look forward to attending those in the future. So as far as the library is concerned, in my attendance here, I attended both the dinosaur exhibit. I don't want to take away anything because I'm sure you're going to touch on these, and also the mini-com this past week. So I got an opportunity to see Spider-Man and a few others. I almost had as much fun as some of the kids there. So it was great. It was well represented, as I mentioned. I'm sure Dustin will probably touch on that. I've been spending as much time as I can introducing myself to the staff. I'm in some situation where I think I've introduced myself multiple times, so until I get an opportunity to get familiar with them, and I'll continue to do that each time I'm here at the library. I do want to take this time out to welcome our two newest members of the board, Tom Taylor and Brandon Eberhardt. Thank you, gentlemen, both for joining us for volunteering. Appreciate it. Now, I do want to touch on one thing. We received a communication that the state of Tennessee has changed their requirements for governing the body as it relates to our public comments. They now are requiring that we allow public comments that may not be germane, particularly to the agenda. So we have a couple of different options, and we can discuss this now and move on it. We can just decide to take a second look at it. But we have the option of opening the comments for both what's on the agenda and any items that anybody in public wants to discuss. Or we can, as we have here, have a public comments that is germane to our agenda. And any additional comments we can put at the end of our meetings. Or we can decide or discuss an alternative way of addressing that.
Are we still allowed to have a time limit?
We can discuss that. What I would like to do is have a time limit. Since we have 2 minutes for our public comment at the beginning of our agenda, I would like to leave that as 2 minutes also. But that's just a suggestion. And we can either discuss it now and move on it. I'm sorry, yes. Question.
Oh, and just to clarify, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Liz, I do still believe that it has to be germane to your authority as a board.
Right.
So that was jurisdiction.
Jurisdiction,
Of
yeah.
the governing body. It's public chapter 600.
So in other words, someone can't come in and talk about something that's not related to the library.
Trash.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Sean, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just, and because one is with the Senate. This is from the new House, or back in March, and one of the things that I've not had a chance to do, I haven't had a chance to look at the legislative history of this or to see if there's any kind of legislative stipulations that have been placed to it, because typically there should be something that we can get a hold of that gives us some indication of how broadly that needs to be, or how broad it needs to be. And I also, the other thing that I want to look at, and because I don't know if we qualify, if this talks about a local governing body, it is to see what the definition through the legislature is on that, whether or not we fall underneath the umbrella, because there are a lot of different boards that may or may not. So if people want me to, between now and our September meeting, I'm happy to kind of check on that and see, because how things had been previously seemed to work fairly well on that. And it does appear that that there have been there's been a few tweaks that I want to look into between Public Chapter 323 and then 620 that was passed this year. So that's just my, at first glance, that's what I would like to do. If folks are good with it, I pass that along to you guys first. Take me a week or so to kind of figure out. But I'm happy to.
I'll kind of that.
Yeah,
That'd be helpful.
yeah. I'm looking at the room. I think everybody pretty much agreed. We'll table this until.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to do that, and I'll pass along what I find out.
Until you do your due diligence.
Yes.
That's fine.
And the truth is, we don't have to act on it. I mean, we can hear the public comment without taking formal action. We can listen to anything.
That's true.
Doesn't mean that we have to, at that time, take formal action.
I said that to the library boards just to make them aware, because some of our library boards had adopted a public comment policy that specifically adopted the language from the 2023 law. And because this seemed to change, that was sent with the advice of, I'm not an attorney, seeking legal guidance as to how to apply that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need to change it, then make changes. If you don't, that's fine. Just so you're aware.
Thank you very much. Dustin.
All right. Well, I will try and do my best to keep mine brief as well. In between a span of 2 months, we had a whole lot going on. This stats from summer, not this summer, but summer reading. We had last year 806 programs and 17,590 participants. This past year that we just did, 946 programs, 20,472 participants. We are up in every age category from the year prior. Teens and tweens are up 37% from last year. That's incredible. And that is a very hard age group to get in touch with. So kudos to our children's team for doing that. And to Polly also, who started that whole ball rolling, who's now in reference as well.
Is she still involved with the teams?
It's mainly been transferred over to Patty now since her changeover into reference.
Okay.
And I know that it's grown enough that Chelsea's had to put in a secondary here and there.
Okay.
Just kind of, help with the flow and make sure there's not too many, kiddos in there. Yeah.
Okay.
And reference as well, I have to give a shout out to them. Adult attendance is up 33% from last year. We even broke our record. Adult participation in summer reading is hit 365. That's a new record for adults. All in all, the busiest program that we've had so far is MiniCon. We're still tallying the numbers, but I can tell you that we made about 600 to 700 badges. We were giving out the badges so we could keep track of the attendees. We had several people return their badges and we ran out by 1:30ish. So yeah, I'd have to guess about 800 to 850 showed up is my rough estimate. So just that alone was just incredible. So, and you got to see Batman. Batman came out with his Batmobile. Iron Man came out in a full suit. Oh, there were all kinds of kids that were very excited, showing off all their costumes, getting really excited, getting to walk up to the Starship Troop, my goodness, to the Star Wars troopers and getting their pictures taken with them. It was just overall a good time. The surprising, really popular program, part of MiniCon that I never would have guessed was the trinket swap. We had a bunch of adults come in specifically for the trinket swap. And I did help an individual in the reference department a week early that got the date wrong and was very upset that we didn't have this trinket swap going. So, you know, there was a lot of passion and excitement about these programs. So all in all, just it was very, very busy in the summer. But I have to thank the board again because I've asked all the staff, how was the summer? All of them said that it felt a little easier this year. And it was 100% thanks to the page position that we were able to put out. We hired a temporary page using vacancy savings. We brought in a volunteer named Nevaeh Clark. She got the temporary position. She's now gone, unfortunately. Her last day was August 12th. She is gone because she has gone back to asking to become a Bonner Scholar in an internship with Maryville College. So she'll be back, and if we are allowed to open the position back up again, she expressed an interest in coming right back next summer, if we'd like. Garden Fest was a huge success. It has been renamed. It was the Tomato Jam. We opened it up to all the vegetables. We thought that tomatoes, you know, shouldn't get all the spotlight.
They could duke it out.
I gotta tell you, the inaugural History Fest went down overwhelmingly well. We had a lot of people come in, about 400. All of them came in to celebrate and see the different kinds of vendors that we had, celebrate programming in the county and local cities. We gave 20 organizations a lot of exposure to the point that the Blount 250 committee is putting together a September 12th parade. And it is going to end at the Greenway Amphitheater on September 12th, where they're going to have a Patriot Walk. And they have used our template of the History Fest vendors to make the first contacts for the Patriot Walk. So all of those 20 vendors are again going to get more exposure because they're going to be the first people called to ask if they want to participate in the September 12th thing. I emailed all of you about our meeting with Biblioteca with one of the vendors. For those of you that were not aware, we've had a couple of major issues recently, particularly in July. It's been down a lot. The main crux of the problem seems to be the sensors in relation to the sun. So the best way to describe it is the sunlight is coming down, hitting the book return in a way that it is causing the light to interfere with the sensors, and the sunlight is making the machine think that it has a book in it. So it's propping open, it's staying open, and then it's breaking down. It's not the only issue that we've been having, but is the crux of the main problem that we've been having is sensors, they believe. So we're going to be meeting again with Biblioteca to again reevaluate this. They're taking this very seriously. We talked with the top executives, and we have a follow-up meeting scheduled March August 31st. So we'll be getting kind of a breakdown on what's going to happen from there on. They've promised us a quick turnaround. They're going to try and institute a brush system that allows items to be placed into the machine while blocking the sunlight whenever it comes down. So we'll see how that works. I'm going to hold them to that because I've been disappointed, honestly, in the number of breakdowns. We paid a lot of money for this machine and they need to be accountable for that. I'm sorry, the foundation paid a lot of money. I also have some very quick happies that I have to mention. Again, in the reference department, Brennan the choir, one of our staff, helped 2 patrons locate their unknown grandfather with genealogy records. That's such a huge thing.
She is really good. She's one of the ones that are really, really good.
Absolutely. During MiniCon, this has been a group effort between patron services and also Lacey in reference, but the dinosaur display exhibit that we have out front as you walk in, I can't tell you how many times I've seen people stop their kids right in front of it so they can take photos. I also have another happy with the cafe, but I'm gonna leave that one to Anjane about the cafe sales from last year. Finally, we're still waiting on verification of this. I'm very grateful that we decided not to adjust our policy the way that we were thinking about for last year. But ABC News, New York, sent a request back in June. They were wanting to do a 250th anniversary special on the history of Appalachia. And it was supposed to have aired July 4th as part of the 250 anniversary special. And they used our Garner photos. So that was part of the celebration event for it. We'll see. I'm waiting on Sarah to get back in touch with us. She's been trying to reach out with the ABC employee that reached out to her.
That's a big deal.
That's a huge deal.
Yeah, the Garner photos are really unique.
Hopefully it'll happen. We'll see. I don't have anything to report, unfortunately, other than that. So, and with that, turn it over to Ms. Wolf.
Thank you.
What is it? We had our soft close of fiscal year 26, and then I think next week we have our final close of fiscal year 26. So these numbers will probably change a little bit again, but very small amounts. You'll notice that there is a different layout in the positioning of trying to get everything where you can see it clearly on a page. Would love your feedback. Flick me a quick email or Dustin a quick email that says, I like this, I don't like this, in just the way the information is presented so that we can make sure it makes sense to you. But it's all still the same information. I would also love to have your input on if you found value in the graphs, and if you found that they helped in your decision making. These reports are to quickly and hopefully clearly identify for you our financial position. And so I want to make sure that they work for you. So we ended up with spending over 92% of our budget, which is good. What is it? It's probably a little bit higher than that. We weren't surprised by anything. And the good news was with our profits, in your report, you were seeing that we generated $31,434 over what we projected for the year. You can now say that that's 34,000 and change. I think it's 34,407. So,
And that goes to,
that's the cafe and
yes,
the
but
meeting
does that
rooms.
go to the library fund or does that
It
go
goes,
to?
it always goes to the library.
Okay, it doesn't go to the Friends or the county.
No, it goes to the
Goes to
library.
here.
Yeah. our designated library fund, but those funds are a special fund. And so they have specific requirements to be accessed. It's not just a pot of money. Yeah, so it's basically one-off expenses, capital, that kind of thing. What is it? Then we've started the new fiscal year. And I have made a mistake on on the revenue. It says fiscal year 26 appropriation. That is actually fiscal year 27. Sorry about that. That's on page 36. But the main difference between last year and this year is that this year the finance department has removed the financial assumption they placed last year. Basically it means that our budget is more accurately reflected on both sides. So, any questions?
Yeah, the two things that are near and dear to my heart are the book budget and the database. So how does that compare with, what is it for this year and how does it compare with last year?
Okay, so if you look at the operations, it will tell you,
Okay.
I'm gonna, yes,
37.
I'm getting used to the layout as well. 37.
Okay.
And it is line 3432. It says $100,000. And
for what?
that's for the book budget. And then last year's book budget, this page now, 432. It was 110. Okay. Now that's personnel. Personnel. I don't know. Sorry, I'm just looking for it.
No, it's fine.
So we reduced it last year, but throughout the year.
Spent a little over 51,500 last year.
Yes, last year we spent $51,569.13
In the book?
and on the book line. And a lot of that had to do with issues that the supply chain was having.
Yeah.
Baker and Taylor closed down, so we lost a lot of jobbers. Well, we lost a huge jobber, especially a significant one for us, as you know, but for the rest of the board. And then it was a matter of setting, and this was such a huge player that when they left, the remaining players were overwhelmed. It was a wonderful opportunity, but they did not, it was not, you've got a year to figure this out. Kathleen Thompson is here and she is our collections manager. Would you like to talk a little bit about that?
About what happened, or I don't want to take up your whole night, but yeah.
In 3 minutes?
Virtually every single one of our vendors crashed and burned when Baker and Taylor walked out. The one that we needed to use was not prepared, and we're still not totally on board with all the processing that we should have. But yeah, Cengage, our large print.
So do you have hopes that you will be able to spend this 100,000 on books and things?
I have hopes that I will be able to spend what I'm supposed to spend this year. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, we are getting books from them now, Kathleen. They're just not, the next shipment we get, we're hoping we're finally going to get the Mylar and the laminate on the paperbacks. If we have not had that, we've been having to do all of that in-house.
Right.
So yeah, that's been a huge adjustment.
Yeah, the biggest challenge with her department has been, it's the equivalent of the farmer industry for those of you who don't know, losing John Deere. So John Deere goes out of business, all of a sudden you gotta find tractors from all these, maybe 2 different companies. That was the same kind of situation with Ingram, where once it collapsed, Ingram suddenly was overwhelmed and they've changed some of their processes. We have been trying to attempt to get the same kind of deal with Ingram that we had with Baker and Taylor. They've been pushing that date back a little bit because of the amount of time they've been overwhelmed, unfortunately. And that has unfortunately taken an effect on our process, because we can buy the books, but we don't have the staffing necessarily to mylar all of that. We don't have the staffing to make sure it's put in the catalog correctly and all that. And so that's what we're kind of waiting on right now with Ingram, is to be able to get to that point where we can have full service, because the only thing that they're allowing us to do right now is partial service, essentially buying the books, and fingers crossed, mylaring will be a big help. So,
Okay, thank you.
yeah.
And then for the databases, what is it? We've reviewed them, as we do every year. And based on usage, and budget, we evaluate whether or not we're gonna keep them. And we've kept everything this year except for the Weiss Medigap.
Oh,
And that was the Weiss Medigap and the financial planning that went with them, but they were coming out of the book line, not the budget or the licensing line. But databases come out of the licensing line, which is 333. I think that's
okay.
it. Is that it?
Thank you, yes, it does. Like I said, those are just
Ah, that's
the
good.
2 that are near and dear to my heart, so.
All right, thank you very much, Angela. Robert, with the foundation.
3 things to share with you. First is we'll have an article in the Daily Times about the foundation, and thanks to Summer for helping on that. Second is that we're making progress on our website.
When does that come out?
Huh?
The article,
The article will be about the foundation
when?
in September.
Okay.
And then we're making progress on our website and hope to have it live in October. And we're also talking about fundraising, and we're continuing to plan on next steps and explore what it would look like for the foundation and the trustees and the friends and library staff to be contribute in that active fundraising effort. So it's a big step. Lots of things will have to happen. You want to add anything to that, Dustin?
I really want to say thank you to Kathleen. Kathleen Christie jumped in at the last minute. So with the foundation, they needed action shots of different kinds of programs for their photo shoot. We had an actor drop out literally the day before. There was a conflict. So I sent an email to all of you asking, would you like to come and get photographed with your kids during a story time? Well, Kathleen jumped in with her
It
grandkids.
was fun.
Yeah,
It was fun and enjoyed it, so thank you for allowing us to do
Yeah.
something fun.
So-
I love the library.
well, thank you for that. And not only that, also your volunteerism at History Fest as
Oh,
well.
sure,
So you've been a big help. Thank you.
you're welcome, thank you.
Thanks, Robert. Foundation, I'm sorry, Friends of the Library, hey, Ann.
Hey, in July, we adopted our vision statement formally, a lasting legacy of learning, access, and inspiration. Took a long time to birth that one, but now we have both our mission statement and vision statement. And in August, we had our teacher sale, 99 teachers and volunteers came by. And then we have our September sale coming up. So that's September 3rd, 4th, and 5th. On the 3rd, it's 12 to 6. On the 4th and 5th, it's 10 to 4 on both of those days. And we hope you can come by. We're expecting actually a heavier crowd, so I shouldn't say that. I might be jinxing it. But we think we'll be fairly busy, but we hope you can come by. Let us know how we do. That's all.
Thank you very much. What it is?
Hello. So you will have our August board report. We're kicking off the new yearly training opportunities. in September. The large annual public library survey that all of our libraries do, and in fact, all libraries participated nationwide, is coming up the entire month of September. That will be the annual public library survey. So we already had a webinar. Our state data coordinator offered a webinar about that this month to kind of prepare people for the great survey. It takes a while to enter. We ask lots of information, but all of those data points end up informing, really at the federal level, the great things that the public libraries do for their communities. So it's an important survey, and we appreciate you taking all the time that it takes. It's very granular. It asks a lot of information. So thank you for doing that ahead of time. We have also partnered up with TEMA to offer a 3-part series to get libraries as certified ready libraries. And so that we will kick off August the 25th, and then have 2 additional webinar or online sessions with TEMA in September to complete that series. We've had a great response for them, and they're handling all of that, and they'll get all the certification stuff sent to the libraries for completing that. So we're excited about that. We are encouraging our libraries, and you all do this. I've used you all as an example, region-wide, for all of our libraries to adopt, if they have not already, a calendar for policy review. You all know how many policies come before you and come before library boards. It's a lot, and it gets difficult to jump all of those things and review them in the timely manner on that timeline that needs to happen. So thank you for being a good example. I've used you for all of our region. Also, we're talking about with our library boards adopting, if you don't already have, a calendar of duties, so that you kind of keep in your mindset all those different things that happen throughout the cycle of a year. When does budget time come? When is it time to look at library appointments and upcoming vacancies on the board? When is it time to do all those different things that come up? So we'll be sharing examples of that. We also have shared the registration information for the annual trustee workshop. This is different. This is something different from the trustee certification program modules online that you may have taken. This is a 1-day workshop that we always have. We will be co-hosting with our sister region, Falling Water River Regional Library in Cookeville. We will be hosting this on September 24th at the Art Circle Public Library in Crossville. They are in a central time zone. That's important to remember. Don't show up an hour early. And we feed you. It's a really great day of learning and connecting and networking with other board members from across our region, but also other regions. We will have speakers from the Comptroller's office, as well as a parliamentarian, as well as Friends of Tennessee Libraries, and our state library archivist will be there as well. So it'll be a great day of learning, lots of important, helpful, useful things. I encourage at least one board member, if you can, to come. That usually benefits the library when we come to tech grant award time. And also, if a board member comes, then the library director can also attend. So if at least
One day, last year, Greg and you and I went, and it was informative. It was interesting. It was also good to get to meet people and talk with them. So,
yeah, it's a good, nice networking opportunity. And it's a nice drive. Go through Grassy Cove. It's a lovely drive. And the library is really lovely too. So just reminding you all about that. We have circulated the library service agreement, the official service area population, and you all have the maintenance of effort. I have copies I'll give to you all for your own records of the library service agreement and the service area population document, because we have those fully executed and completed. What else? I think that's mainly it. The maintenance of effort's not due till the end of October, so we're right on board where we need to be. And then you all also have the regional ebook and audiobook download system, which is the statewide consortia circulation statistics for July. And I do have, because I promised you I'd bring it.
Thank you.
Yes, so Maria Dickerson she completed our core competency modules, and they get a pin and a certificate for this because it's 28 core modules. It's a lot that talk about Just basics, really, that you need to know to work in a public library, and it's a lot. So kudos to Maria for doing that.
I'd also like to highlight that Maria is still in her introductory phase.
It's a great, we highly encourage that as an onboarding process for new library staff too. So thank you for doing it.
Yeah.
That's all.
All right, thank you very much. Moving to old business. The borrowing privileges policy, which I think we discussed in June.
It's May or June,
Where everyone had an opportunity to look over it.
Page 47.
yeah. That's the confidential.
It's page 49.
Oh, sorry, 49, yeah. Sorry.
Can I entertain a motion to approve?
I move that we approve, the borrowing privileges policy as it appears, in today's agenda.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Any further questions? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Confidentiality, oh, I knew I was gonna say. All right. Confidentiality, records policy. I know we discussed this one in detail. We sort of pushed back until we got some clarification. Has everyone had an opportunity to review? Because we discussed this in June. This is the new revised policy. Anyone? Do I have a motion to approve?
When we talk about option 1 versus option 2, option 1 is incorporated into this?
No, ma'am, no. So with regards to the options that we reached out to you individually about, as we looked through it, all of them just seemed to be procedural rather than policy wise.
I'm sorry, I think you said.
And so, yeah, we will still activate all of the different procedural steps that we had discussed individually with all of you as well. And yeah.
I'd like to officially say that I appreciate you folks contacting us so that we could, at least so that I could understand it better. That helped. So, and I'm assuming it helped everyone.
Yes, absolutely.
It was a lot, and I also have to give thanks to the staff because the staff did a very good job of helping with all of the ins and outs. It was a large ball of yarn that could have gone in multiple directions, and thanks to the communication and transparency that all the staff brought together with these recommendations, I feel that we were able to get you guys really succinct ideas that kind of addressed everyone's needs.
And I would move that we approve the confidentiality of library records policy as presented in the agenda.
Right.
I second.
All right. Any further questions? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, moving to new business. Raise funding request for a labeling printer.
Yes, sir. Well, yes, we still need the circulator.
Circulation of library material.
That's on page 43.
I'm sorry.
Circulation of
No, it's okay.
Was that a rotation?
Yeah, it was.
Since it touched the other
Yeah,
thing,
actually,
we wanted to revisit it.
I had checked it off as if we were good. Sorry. Like that. All right, circulation of library materials policy. I think we discussed it from also before. I think they had some discussion, this is over at this time, so. Everybody had opportunity to review. Do we have a motion to approve?
I move that we approve the circulation of library materials policy.
Sean, was there a second?
There's one, just a quick amendment. On page 45, the BCPL app is the Librista app now.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay, is that the third one?
Well, that changes everything.
It's all for policy now.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Page 45,
Yeah. That's the
Then
BCPL.
it be added to it officially?
Librista app.
Okay.
We just need, it's just not,
Right, that's what we know.
there's no BCPL app anymore, and I don't want you guys to think, because yes, it's a simple edit, but I didn't want you guys to think we're like,
Appreciate
So
that.
we just changed it on
Just-
here.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
I second if we haven't already.
Are there additional questions? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed?
Okay.
Now, new business. Friends funding request for a library, label printer.
Right. Well, I do appreciate all of your guys' time in looking this over, but really all of the things has to go to Penny Stewart and Kathy Thompson. One of the things that's been a challenge with them being able to get all of the items out in a fast manner of time is the processing. And for those not involved in library terms, processing is literally putting the stickers on, putting the stamps on, putting them in specific locations, but they have to be typed out in a way that actually makes it findable and usable. The machine that we have right now, the printer, works for about 4 different lines before it starts veering off due to some coding issues. IT has been looking at that for months, and while it technically works, we're going through a half a page of waste per printout. And so what we'd like to do is invest our money instead in a new type of printer that would do individual labels. It can be set directly onto the desk, so it'd be more ergonomic for our collection staff. And overall, just in visiting it, Penny did her due diligence in looking at multiple different vendors to see what would be the best return on investment. We reached out to several other libraries, and this was actually the one they recommended. So with your permission, I'd like to purchase it and ask the friends officially.
Well, that's next Tuesday.
I think maybe you let Destin purchase the printer.
Yes, awesome. Thank you.
Just.
You got one motion?
I'll second that.
All right. All right. Are there any additional questions?
As someone who used to have to, as his work study in college, those on, this is money well spent. Thank goodness, they can trust me.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Thank you. Long table.
All right. I did reach out to all of you early, individually, to kind of gauge your opinion of support. Thank you all for your time on that one. There was a little bit of a snafu in the communication getting back to us in a manner of time that would allow us to have this vote. The long table event is going to be October 15th. It's the 5th one. It is very well loved by the community, and the library gets some extra marketing from it. So it's kind of a win-win. What I'd like to ask the board for is permission to open up the back doors for an extra hour and a half after we've closed. Last year, you guys discussed wanting to have 2 staff there for security reasons. So I'd ask for permission to open the building just to the back area for 2 staff after we've closed for an hour and a half. One thing that I did find out after the fact when I sent your email is that Chelsea informed me that this is also occurring during some of the early voting times, so staff would have to be here anyways. So.
Do we need to just approve that?
Did we already vote on that?
There was an informal, I plan to say yes to this individually, but there was never a formal
Okay.
vote for yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
By the way, the event sold out. They opened the portal at 8 o'clock and it sold out at 8:03.
Wow.
Man. All right, any additional questions?
Took so long.
That's actually impressive because the last 2 years it sold out in 7 minutes. So
Yeah.
now they sold out
3
3.
minutes.
Wow.
That's just.
People were sitting there waiting.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The holiday closure schedule?
Yes, sir. I wanted to present this to you. It's on the back. We gave you a copy both of the proposed building scheduled closure as well as the county's already approved 2027 closure. There's a lot of days on here, and for those of you that are new, the reason that I wanted to discuss in length is because the way we've operated is different. As the library is open 7 days a week versus the county being open 5 days a week, we've had different calendar dates as opposed to what the county officially gives out. Every year, the board has gotten together to decide what days will be closed. These closure dates will not affect the employees' pay. They'll still receive the same county pay. We were just putting this in to make sure that the building is closed at the same time that the county is closed. So for instance, you'll see 5 days for Christmas in 2027, 23rd, 24th, 27th. The reason for that is because the staff are already receiving automatically Thursday the 23rd, Friday the 24th, and Monday the 27th for holiday pay. So any full-time staff that would get that, and then it felt weird to give them 2 days of Christmas time off, open the library back up for another 2 days, and then give them the day off again. So with that, I am open to any questions or suggestions you guys may have.
I appreciate you taking into account the fact that when you compare it with the county, being aware that we are open on the weekend, and that changes it. It changes it, so I think it looks great.
And this is similar to kind of how we've done things this year as well, isn't it?
I will say that I've relied on Summer for that, and she has said that this has fit precedent before, yes.
The only difference would probably, I'm asking, not, isn't it that you technically have more days off at Christmas, but the reason for that is because of the weekend.
Yes, it's the way that the county has done it this time. It's made it to where we've had to we're requesting now the Saturday and the Sunday since it's right in the middle. Whereas the county, it doesn't show up because they are not open.
They're already.
Right. So yes, it does look like we have more this time than previous years because of how it's fallen this time.
It's been a conversation gone on for years, so I think it's great.
And this will be for 2027, not for 2026.
Sounds good.
I move we accept this calendar. Is that what we're up to?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Right?
Any additional questions? All those in favor for the schedule for 2027, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, great. It looks good. All right, for our upcoming meetings and dates, commission meetings, Blount County Commission meetings, excuse me, on September 1st. Friends of the Libraries, August the 25th, as it shows there, and I'll try to make that one again. The foundation, the Blount County Library Foundation, I'll try to make that one. This time I'll try to be on time. Last time I was running a few minutes late. And of course, the Rome and Alco City Council meetings, as those things. And our next board meeting will be September 15th. All right. Motion to adjourn. We adjourn. All right.
Second.
There you go. Delay that. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank you.